Good afternoon, everybody. Phil Simons with Columbia Grain here, and your Friday afternoon weekly grain market recap. Well, welcome everybody to the 2024 calendar year because we are officially in it. Although it was abbreviated week here, as we didn't really get things kicked off until Tuesday, we do have a week in the books now. But I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you, and let's navigate over to our favorite website, columbiagrain.com, and in the upper right-hand section, let's navigate to the Producer Solutions tab. That'll take you to our Producer Solutions website here. But really, again, we did have more of an abbreviated week as we didn't get things kicked off until Tuesday. But we did have our export sales report come out here this morning. You can definitely see that these numbers are really from last week's activity. And again, last week was definitely holiday mode. And you can see just from the sheer numbers here and the reduction in numbers that we're seeing here, there really wasn't much going on last week. We see the export sales for corn came in at 14.5 million bushels on the week last week, and soybeans at 7.4 million bushels, and all wheat at 4.8 million bushels. And then you can see the breakout by class in terms of what we saw from the wheat complex in terms of export sales. So again, definitely lighter volume, but really to be expected as it was holiday week last week. The other thing that we were really seeing kind of hit the market here this week is a continued just uncertainty, on the Red Sea area portion of the world and the potential shipping disruptions that we could potentially see out of that part of the globe. So definitely something to continue to monitor as we move forward here, because it has been pushing some business around, a little bit throughout the world. So definitely something to continue to watch as we move forward here. But let's see what we actually wound up with week on week this week. We can see that if we start on the left-hand side, March corn had a weekly range of 10 cents and lost 10 cents week on week. And we did actually close at the low end, or at the lows for March corn here this week. And same thing in March beans. We actually had a 35-cent range there. And we did close out at the lows in March soybeans as well, losing 34 cents on the week. We take a look at the wheat complex overall. We see that Kansas City had a 31-cent range in Kansas March, and actually pared some of those losses back a little bit. We actually lost week on week about 12 cents there. And similar fashion over in Chicago March wheat, we had a 37-cent range. We actually were able to pare some of those losses back a little bit here and actually did lose 12 cents on the week. And pretty much same thing over in Minneapolis. We had a weekly range of 18 cents, and we did weekly change, lost 9 cents in Minneapolis over there. So again, really with the abbreviated week, we really were looking for more drivers. So continue to look as we go forward into next week. Next week, we're going to definitely be talking more about weather, and we're going to be really entering more of a weather market type pattern as the majority of the U.S. does look to have some kind of a cold blast coming down. And so I wouldn't be, ultimately shocked if we start to talk about the polar vortex or something along those lines and how it could potentially affect the winter wheat crop that's in the ground. So definitely stay tuned to see what we see next week, in terms of what types of implications that we could see from the weather maps and any, disruptions that we could potentially see there. Other than that, be sure to take a look at our new crop contracts, especially for HTAs, cash contracts, our accumulator contracts. When we take a look out to that September for wheat, we're right around a 35-cent premium for accumulator contracts. We take a look at corn and soybeans in particular. When we look at November 24, we're close to a 40 to a 45-cent premium for a lot of those different types of contracts out there. So be sure to get a hold of your local merchandiser, manager, and buyer. Take a look at the whole platform that we have out there available at your disposal. But other than that, we're going to go ahead and wrap everything up for the week here. I hope everybody has a great weekend. And remember, if your trading strategy seems to be working, you haven't used it long enough. Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll talk with you next week.